Rockstar Real Estate Agents. My name is Tiffany Fortenberry and I'm one of the owners at Prestige Title of Brevard. We're proud to be the sponsor of the Rockstar Real Estate Series for the second year in a row. As a family-owned and operated business, we are dedicated to providing service you can trust through every aspect of your transaction. We thank you for your business over the last 16 years and we look forward to continuing to serve our Brevard County Realtors.
All right. I like the sound system in here. I should get my guitar. Next time I'll bring my guitar and we'll just do sing-alongs. This is way more fun. All right, so I'm going to introduce Cameron Smith. Cameron and I have been friends now for several years. As you can see, we're about the same age. Cam is the founder of Next Gen Coaching. It's a phenomenal coaching service, helping agents grow their businesses tenfold. And his organization, his group last year in Southwest Florida did 1,400 transactions. So he knows a couple things. So welcome, Cam Smith.
Thank you, Mitch. What's up, Melbourne? Hello. Oh, come on, one more time. Hey, what's up, Melbourne? Hey, it's good to be here. I absolutely love coming over. The agents that I've met over here are some of the most take the advice and actually run with it that I have met. Since I was here last year with you guys, we have had an absolute amazing group and a tour that we did around the state of Florida. And I have met a lot of agents, and I gotta say, Melbourne has some of my favorites. So I'm excited to be back. Today, I'm gonna be going over our contacts to contracts. Before I do that though, I wanna say thank you to all of the sponsors. Obviously, without them, couldn't be here. Can we give them a little round of applause? Yeah, without the sponsors, without Mitch and Pat, I could not be here doing this for you guys, so I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be going over today exactly the program that our teams have switched to in the past year. Real quick, by a raise of hands, did anyone's business here slow down in the last 12 months? Did anyone slow down a little bit? Okay. So this is the system that a lot of our teams are pivoting to that are keeping their sales numbers up or actually adding sales numbers to their businesses year after year, which is really exciting because as the market pivots and the market shifts a little bit, our job, like Mitch was saying here just a minute ago, was lead generation. And I'm going to show you exactly everything that we're doing to add more lead flow to our businesses. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Cam Smith. I've been a real estate agent now licensed for 15 years, but I was actually lucky enough, I'm sorry guys, I'm looking into this projector. I'm gonna move forward a little bit. I was lucky enough to grow up in a real estate household. So both my parents were high selling realtors during their time, and that allowed me the good fortune of being surrounded my entire life, really, with some of the best real estate coaches in the industry. From when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I was in the office, I was doing admin duties, doing the real estate business before I got licensed. But the bigger part or the bigger advantage of that is I was going to seminars and going to coaching services just like this when I was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. And it allowed me to kind of get the inside track or a little bit of priority when I go to those coaches later on in my career. And they remembered the little kid, the only little kid in the whole hotel or the whole conference room. They remembered you, and they've always been able to provide me with just next level information and exactly what's working. Now, I have taken that obviously and grown an amazing team across the country. Now we are up over 300 next-gen agents. But one of the parts that I really find to be fantastic is I've been able to take all of that knowledge, growing up in the real estate household, growing up in the office, and growing up in seminars and growing up in classes, and I started Next Gen Coaching here in 2019, where I started doing the exact same thing, where I'm now helping people with the knowledge that I have, help them grow their businesses. Now, for everyone that was here our last event that I was doing, a lot of you know that I'm really big on social media. Obviously, NextGen in the last couple years has grown amazing throughout the different social media. I'm gonna trip on this cord, you guys. So NextGen has really grown through social media. We're now almost at 25 million views through our coaching online. We have almost 1 million likes on our videos and our coaching videos, which is really exciting. We're almost at 90,000 active followers, and like I said, we're at a little over 300 users that are doing the next-gen systems across the country. With those different agents, we've been lucky enough to find some extremely hardworking agents, and they have actually used our systems to become the #1 overall sales team in the state of Georgia based on sales volume, as well as the #1 solo team in the entire state of Tennessee using our systems and technologies. So we know they work. We know what we're teaching. If you put it to work, it will work for you. And I'm excited to share with you guys exactly what they're doing today. So on your guys' table, I want you guys to do this. There should be 5 sheets. The first one is the 30-day challenge, okay? So if everyone could break that out and kind of open it up a little bit, you're going to see you have a couple pieces here. The first is our 30-day challenge, which I'm going to break down. We're going to go through each one of these throughout today's event. I'm going to break down exactly how to fill this out to be as efficient as possible. As well as you'll see, we have a daily schedule, as well as 3 very basic scripts that will be able to transform your business if you decide to use them, you guys. That's the biggest part. Like Mitch was saying, everything that we teach here is really up to you to take it out in the real world and start using it and trying it. Make it your own. But I'm going to give you the basics today. I'm going to give you what we give everyone, the foundation, like Mitch was saying, and it allows you to build your own tonality. It allows you to build everything that you're going to need to what I call adding another spoke in your real estate business. Because really with lead generation, as Mitch just showed us already, there are dozens, and I mean literally dozens, if not hundreds of ways to sell real estate, and they all work. That's the incredible part, is they really do all work if you're working them. So I'm going to show you what we have pivoted to in this market, and I'm going to break it down so it's as basic as I can. I'm also going to get you guys to do it with me here in a little bit, which I'm going to think is going to be really exciting. I love doing this exact seminar that I do because it's very involved. And what I want you to do by the time that you leave here this afternoon and tomorrow, I want to be able to fill you with the confidence to know that if I'm doing it, my teams are doing it, and we're having success, all of you can do it as well and have the same successes we're having. So I'm giving you the tools needed for that. And as Mitch said earlier, a lot of the stuff is very basic. And there's going to be a few agents that are going to be saying probably the very similar same thing. But what I'll tell you guys is that if you are able to do this, even if there are a few agents saying the same things or similar things, you are going to put yourself in front of hundreds of thousands of agents around the country that aren't, as well as making sure that you're not one of the 86% that go out of business. So these are today's materials. But we're going to start off with motivation, because my goal today, again, is to get you to try this. If I can motivate you and instill the confidence in you that I have, I know for a fact tomorrow, next week, next month, a year from now, 5 years from now, you are going to be able to continue growing your business, but it all starts with motivation, okay? 3 real simple things to continue your daily motivation. Again, I've been doing this 15 years now, and it is still something that I have to work on every single day. It's extremely important, you guys. It doesn't matter if you're brand new in this business or you're an expert and you've been doing it for years, we all have the same challenges. Real quick, show of hands, how many people wake up every morning totally excited to do all the things that they're not doing? Right, exactly. And it's challenging for all of us. Adding a spoke in the wheel, especially a outbound prospecting spoke, this is what we're talking about today. It's outbound prospecting. Last time, obviously, with social media, we were talking about inbound prospecting, which I still love. But we're going to talk a little bit more about outbound prospecting. And with outbound prospecting, motivation is the key. So the 3 legs of motivation that we all have that I think will work for every single one of you if you enact them is starting every single day at 0, okay? And I'm going to go into this a little bit deeper. But starting every day at 0, it allows you, it doesn't matter if you had the greatest day in the world yesterday and you made $100,000, or if you had a challenging day yesterday or you didn't succeed, or maybe you had some failures or challenges. It does not matter what the day before was. You're starting that day fresh, and it allows you to do the next part, which is go over and work towards your clear outlined goals. You have to have clear outlined goals put in place and written down, you guys, so that you have something every day. Doesn't matter if it's a bad day yesterday, good day yesterday, whatever it may be. When you start your day at 0, you're able to then work towards those clear outlined goals so that you can accomplish them. And then the third part of that is the contacts to contracts. Like I said, that's today's event. And really what that just means is do the work. So once you've started your day at 0, you've motivated yourself by reviewing your written down goals that you have outlined, and I'm going to do that with you guys here in a little bit as well, is break down some goals. Once you're doing those two things, you're able to go to work and you're able to really start making the contacts, have those conversations that turn into contracts, which is the goal of outbound prospecting, right, you guys? I mean, that's really what we're trying to do, is motivate ourselves so that we can be the one to reach out to find the people that need our help, right? So those are the 3 points that I want to talk about motivation. We're going to break down these 3 today. The first one is being a start at 0, right? Who here, now I was just talking with someone, they wake up at 4 o'clock every day, this guy, but who here has a true time, that's a specific time that they wake up every single day on their workday? Raise the hands. Okay, quite a few of us. Good, that's great. So what I will say is the single most important thing in business, especially the real estate business, or in life in general, is how you start your days. You guys, this is absolutely vital. I always tell everyone that you have to do this. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute walk, 3-minute jump rope. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour-long workout if you don't want it to be. It's as quick as that, guys. It's quick. It has to be very quick. So morning activities, get up, get yourself out of bed. One of the famous advices, or one of the famous ways to do this, is put your workout shoes, if you have walking shoes or that kind of thing, right at the foot of your bed. So when you wake up and you get out of bed, your feet hit them instantly, so you don't have a choice to put on your shoes. You got to do that. But morning activity, you guys, super important. It also allows you to have time to focus. It gives you a few minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can do a walk the dog, whatever it may be, you guys. But you have to start something structured so that when you are doing it, you can have time to focus and go over the other parts here. The other part about that, the morning activity or the morning exercise, everyone, is it gives you time to go over your affirmations. It's one of the only times in our day, being realtors, that our phones aren't constantly ringing, the kids aren't running in, husband and wife aren't asking questions. You're not busy. So that morning activity, you can go over your affirmations. You can tell yourself that you are, my favorites are, is I will, I can, and I am great. Those are my favorite. I can, I will, and I am great. I am, you guys, is the most powerful affirmation in the universe. It centers yourself. It tells you that everything that you're about to say is going to be caused by you. You are the ruler. You are the one that creates it. You are the person doing it. And that's why when you make your own affirmations, which I recommend you do, you make sure to have I am, whatever it may be, powerful. I am strong. I am smart. I am the best real estate agent in Melbourne. Whatever it may be, it needs to be led with I am. And when you're doing your morning activity and you're doing your exercise, you need to be going over those affirmations, because you guys, that is the key to all of the start of motivation. It is believing that you are going to be able to accomplish it. Now, pulling right after the morning activity, right? This is basic stuff, but right after our morning activity, typically we're going to shower and get started, ready for work. This is when you need to take just a couple minutes. And again, this is 5 minutes. Visualize your success. Again, we're motivating ourselves. We're encouraging ourselves. Here, in this great room, there's lots of energy. Everyone here wants to be successful. Everyone here will be successful if they do the work. Now, when you're at home and it's dark out still, that motivation can slowly start kind of going away. It can slowly start diminishing. But if you follow along and you do this consistently, you can keep that energy high and keep yourself motivated. So the second step is visualizing success, and I like to say that it's creating a path. Usually after I get out of the shower in the morning, I take just a minute or two. I close my eyes. If you do prayer or that kind of thing, it's a great time to do that. But you can go over your goals and you can create a path in your mind on how you're going to accomplish those today, that day, right? And that's exactly what you're doing with visualizing. Now, the next step of this is starting every day with expectations on what our growth should be like, okay? We all want to become experts in everything on day one. Our attention spans are shorter than they've ever been in the history of human beings. We want to be experts today, now. Well, that's just not how it works, right? That's just not the reality on how business works or how life works or how education works. You have to take it in small bites. I'm sure a few of us have heard or read the book, you eat the elephant or eat the frog one bite at a time, right? And that's exactly what the 1% rule is your goal that day should be to improve yourself, your business, and overall by just 1%. So easy. If we break it down like that, you guys, who here thinks that they can improve 1% a day? Raise their hands. Everyone raise their hands. Come on, everybody raise their hands. If you can't do that, then you're not going to try. And that's the opposite of what I want you to do. I believe that you all can generate, or you all can be better by just 1% every single day by trying, right? You have to try. And the last part of this is daily reflection. So at the end of every day, you have to be logging down, or you have to be journaling what you did that day, all of the accomplishments that you had, all of the challenges that you had. And the reason not only for the reflection, but it's also motivation. Because on those mornings that you wake up and you don't want to, and we all been there, right? You're just not motivated to make it happen today for whatever reason. When you can go back and look through 300 or 400 or 500 pages of journal entries that you have done, that you have committed to, that you have succeeded with, I tell you, it's going to fire you up. And that's why it's extremely important to always be reflecting at the end of every single day. You need to be writing down the things that you succeeded at, the things that you failed at, the challenges that you had, as well as planning for the day ahead. So the next day in front, I do that at the same time. Always having a plan allows you to never be lost. It also allows you to maximize your time. So at the end of every day, make sure that you are reflecting, you're writing everything down, and you're keeping a log of it. You can't just write it down and then throw it in the trash, you guys. You need to put this somewhere that you can, you can review it, you can use it for your motivation on those days that you need to review your past successes. So again, every day, every single day, this is part of that foundation that Mitch was talking about. Every single day, you need to be starting out at 0 with your morning activity. It doesn't have to be an excruciating 2-hour workout. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes. It can be quick, but it needs to have time to focus, go over your affirmations, visualize the successes that you're going to have, and then remember, you're not going to become an expert today, but we can continue working towards that, and at the end of the day, reflect on it. Show yourself that you can do it, that you did it, and that is how you're going to be able to start every single day at 0. So this page we're going to do together, okay? And you have this in front of you. This is the 30-day challenge, and this is going to be really exciting because the 30-day challenge we actually have a guarantee on. If you work the system, we guarantee that it's going to work for you, and our partner does as well. So what I have here listed real quick is that, like I said, this is another spoke in the wheel of your business. I don't expect this specific system to take over and be the only lead generation system that you're using. This is just the spoke, and using this system, I wanted to come up with a realistic goal of what I believe most agents, if they were to enact this and become 1% better a day, what they should be able to accomplish. And I broke it down to 12 additional contracts in 2024. So that's 1 a month, right? That should be pretty obtainable here. Who in the audience today wants to add 12 contracts in 2024? Good. We have found, using this system, it takes about 50 conversations, so contacts or conversations for every appointment, all right? Now, usually for most agents, no matter if they're experienced or they're brand new, it takes between 1 and 3 appointments to get a new listing and to get a contract, okay? So we're gonna go on the more beginner side or the newer side with our numbers, and I want you guys to follow along with me here, is that if you need 3 appointments to get a listing and it takes 50 conversations to get an appointment, how many is that? 150, right. So you're multiplying your conversations, you're multiplying how many listing appointments you need, and then you can figure out exactly how many conversations on the phone you need to go over what I'm going to tell you here in just a bit, which is our basic script that will put you ahead of most people, okay? So to hit this number here, 12 additional contracts, 12 additional listings in 2024, we need to have 150 conversations. Everyone following me here? Yeah. Okay, so now we have 150 conversations. There's 30 days in the month, right? So we divide those two. I know we're getting into a little bit of algebra here, I'm sorry. But if you divide your numbers, 150 conversations or 150 contacts by the days of the month 30, you end up with 5 contacts a day, 5 conversations a day. Who here thinks they can do 5 conversations a day? Talk to 5 people, 5 additional people. Absolutely. Everyone here can do it. And that is how simple your goal can be when you actually start breaking it down just like this. And this is how I want you guys to do your goals. I want you to break it down by how many conversations you are going to need to achieve your goals. Now, everyone's different. If you're a newer agent, obviously you're going to have more conversations than if you're an experienced agent. But on average, our team's numbers are around 50 conversations for every appointment, 3 appointments for every contract, right? So if we're able to have just 5 conversations a day additional to what you're already doing, I believe, based on my team's numbers and our sales last year, you would be able to hit those 12 additional listings or contracts in 2024. Well, the next step here, if you're looking on your goal sheet, right, if you're looking on the 30-day challenge, you'll see it says motivation. Well, personally, my motivation is financial. That's why I work, right? Probably a lot like most of y'all. So the first thing here should be, in my opinion, for our business, the financial benefit we are going to get when we achieve that goal of 12 additional contracts this year. In my local market, our average commission check's around $16,000. I don't know what it is here, but that is where it is down in our area. So if we multiply 12 by 16, that comes out to $192,000, an additional $192,000. Show of hands, who wants $192,000? Who here can also do 5 contacts a day, just 5, to make 200 grand? Okay, so everyone here could do that, right? Absolutely. Now, the other thing is it shouldn't just be financial, you guys. You have to remember too, by adding this system, by adding this 30-day challenge into your business, it's also going to give you a completely different spoke of your business. It's going to allow you to pivot with the market as it continues to shift. Like Mitch said earlier, you guys are currently at 2,500 homes. During 2008, when I first started my business, there was, just like Mitch was saying, around 11,000 homes on the market. So in my belief, in my opinion, there needs to be a lot more listings. And I'm going to show you how you're able to go out and gain a part of that market share with the listings that are continually adding to the MLS every single day. So also pivoting with your business, and you can grow your business. The other thing that's really big here is I know a lot of us do have teams or are team leaders, and lead costs in the last 12 months have become astronomical, you guys. They are so expensive. So this is a great way to add lead flow to your team that isn't costing you $300, $400, $500 per lead, and it allows your team, like our team, to stay busy and actually grow their numbers year after year, even with the market shift that's currently going on. Now on the bottom section here on the 30-day challenge, you'll see the reward. And this is the single most important part of this whole sheet, is I need you guys to draw down or write down. Writing this is the most important thing you can do, what your reward will be that you guarantee yourself that you will do when you accomplish your goal. Because like all of us, that morning wake up, we're trying to stay motivated, we're trying to get it. And if you do all the work, but you don't actually get the reward that you set out for yourself, the motivation, the personal motivation is going to go down drastically. So you need to set up rewards for yourself that you're going to accomplish. My favorite is every year I do a family winter vacation. I love going out to the snow and the mountains, and I make it so that every year that is a guarantee. And I write it down in my journal, in my log, that that's going to be something that I'm going to do no matter what. I actually just got back from Vail this past year, well, about a month and a half ago. Fantastic. One of the great trips that we always have every year, and it motivates me, again, year after year to go do it again. Now, your motivations could be totally different than mine. Yours could be for your kids, or maybe it's to pay off debt, or maybe it's to add to your savings account. Maybe you want to buy a new car. It doesn't matter what it is. It just has to be a guarantee that when you write down and you accomplish these numbers, you are going to go out and spend that money on something for you, your family, or for yourself. Very important that you have all this. Now, in the middle here, you have the 30 days. There's 30 little circles here. And this is how you're going to be accountable to yourself once you start working this program that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. You're going to fill in those circles. You're going to make a mark on them to show you that you can do this, that you're being consistent, and you're able to do that for just 15 days out of the month. If you do it for more than 15 days, our guarantee kicks in, and I'll talk more about our guarantee here in a little bit. But this is your daily tracker, 30 days, you're able to fill those out. Now, on this side here, you guys, on the other piece of paper that you have, we have our daily schedule. There's 2 ways to use this schedule. It's really exciting because depending on where you are in your career, you can use it totally different. Oh, one also thing to mention, guys, is all of these have a QR code where you can download the template. So don't be afraid to write on them, because you're able to download a new template that you can print at home. But the daily schedule is really incredible because it gives you the ability to do 2 different things. The first is what most of us do, which is build out an actual schedule that we're going to follow. Now, for most of us, though, we had a raise of hands earlier, not everybody is able to be the perfect schedule follower. So what I actually like doing with the daily schedule, at least in the beginning, when you first start using this and you start doing another lead generation source, is actually using the daily schedule as a daily tracker. Okay? And what I mean by that is that throughout the day, you're going to set your phone to go off every 30 minutes. Don't worry, your phone goes off way more than every 30 minutes, so it's just going to be something that you add. And you're only going to do this for a little bit, but every 30 minutes, I want you to come by and on your daily schedule, just write down what you were doing the last 30 minutes, right? What were you actually doing in your business in the last 30 minutes? And every 30 minutes, you're going to do that. What you will find is that you have a huge amount of holes throughout your day that you are actually doing nothing. And it's kind of funny, and it is funny, but when you start looking at it and you start looking at it as your business, you start being a little bit more concerned because you go, well, now I know why business is where it is, because I'm not actually working 10 hours, 12 hours a day. And this simple tool, just by logging what you're doing every 30 minutes, allows you to identify that and start correcting that. The second part of that, or the second part of the daily schedule, is doing what I was saying earlier. At the end of the day, you're going to write down your reflections. You're going to write down how that day went. Plus, you're also going to schedule your day ahead. And this is a very simple way to do that. Obviously, I have a kind of a sample, or kind of my basic schedule written out here, and I'm going to write that up here. So 6 a.m., I'm a sleep person, so I have to sleep in, just the way it goes. Some people can do 4 a.m., some will do 5, it doesn't matter. Start when you start, but for that first little bit, you have to be doing your morning activity, and that's why between 6 and 7, you can see here, I have the workout log. So I have my morning workout. At 7 a.m., that's usually around the time my workout ends, I stop and I do the reflection. I call it my mindset minute. So I do my mindset minute as well as reviewing my goals. Okay, so I have that visualization right after my workout, and that usually takes about 20 minutes right around 7 a.m. Now at 7:30, I start getting all of my data ready. So my expireds, for sub by owners, sit down, have another cup of coffee, that kind of stuff. So I'm doing the basic admin work around 7:30 to get ready for 8 a.m. Because with this system that I'm talking about, the only time people we have found are answering the phone is between 8 and 8:30 typically. After that, 1, they've had 400 people call them. 2, their day has started, they're out and about, and they aren't just answering the phone anymore. Really, the phone answering stops around 8:30. So having everything ready to go at 8, making your calls, doing your things. Remember, we only need 5, you guys. You only need 5 conversations to be successful and make $192,000 additional dollars a year. So anyways, 8 to 9, usually I'm doing the expired calls, which I'm going to tell you more about and exactly what we're doing there. At 9 o'clock is when I reach out to the 4 sub-by owners. So Mitch doesn't particularly call. He likes a door knock. That's great. That's an awesome strategy. But being that I am primarily focused more in the office, I'm doing all of my 4 sub-by owner calls at exactly 9 o'clock. And when those run out, we file back to expireds. And I like to usually have all of my calling done right around 11 a.m. So my work day for all of that business, this spoke, goes from around 8 to 11. That's all of the active working that you're doing. Now at 11, we're doing follow-up, missed calls, all of that stuff, emails. But the other thing that I'm doing at 11 is starting prepping for the listing appointments that you generated through that morning of calls. Typically, you guys, as you do this system and as you become more successful with it, you're going to be getting at least one listing appointment a day. That's really our goal. That's our goal for all of my team, is I want you guys having one successful listing appointment a day. And that's when you start prepping for that. You start getting ready, having the listing appointment, CMA, that kind of stuff. It's also the time that I do my mailers. So I also do a letter campaign, do a lot of letters, direct mail. That's successful, it's working. Not going to talk about that as much today, but it's a great time to do that. It's kind of midday. Right at noon, then we have all of our trainings. So as you guys know, you're here. We have unlimited trainings. We have virtual meetings, in-person meetings, almost every single day. And to get 1% better, guess what? You have to actually go into training. You got to put yourself into training. You can do it yourself. You can read a book. You read your own books, or you can join us and buy into our systems and what we're doing. But throughout my afternoon, usually around from noon to 2, which is only 2 meetings, usually that's what I'm doing around noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Now, 2 o'clock comes around, and that's usually where I am starting my first listing appointment. So if I have multiple listing appointments that day, the first one I usually start around 2, the second one's at 4, and the afternoon is pretty much taken up by driving to the appointment, doing your presentation, the basics of listing appointments. Get back from all of that, and then we have our social media stuff, our admin stuff, kind of the stuff that maybe if you have a assistant, maybe they don't handle, or if you don't have assistant, you have to handle it all. So right around 4 o'clock, we have all of that done. And then 5 o'clock is when I do the reflection. I sit down at my desk, I write down today what happened, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then I schedule tomorrow's activities. And extremely important is the last thing you need to do in your office is schedule tomorrow's activities, because it gives you a clear outlined goal that you can work towards the next day. When you show up and you start from 0, you already have the things that you need to do in writing, written in front of you, and you can start working on them. That's a really basic schedule for us. It is 6 to 6. That is the work day. Now, a lot of that is personal, like working out and visualizing. That's personal, but really it's not, because if we just look back at this, you can see how your personal life and your motivation and the things that you're doing in your free time add up to being able to be a successful real estate agent when you start doing systems that are outbound prospecting. Because the truth is, you guys, is there will be challenges. We all know that. It's not going to be easy as pie. Like, there will be challenges. But if we have our clear outline goal and we're working towards that, you're going to be able to keep pushing past that. That way you can reach the successes that you should have. Now, just so you guys know too, we are having a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions about the goals, or if you have any questions about the schedule, does anyone here, who here actually wrote down a goal? Just curious. What was your goal? Just say it out loud. One contract, buy investment properties, good. So those are all things that you can absolutely accomplish, right? And this gentleman here, I guarantee it, in 12 months, he will have his own investment property. Probably in 6 months. 1, because he's sitting at the very front, and 2, because he actually wrote it down and I can see it. This guy is ready to use this knowledge, take off, and do everything we're going to say. And if you do it, I guarantee you'll have the exact same results that my team's having. Last year, the team sold over 1,400 homes, which is up from 600 in 2022. So I know for a fact, if you do this and you put it to work, it'll work for you. The other thing is NextGen, we put together this just incredible workbook. Again, it's on the QR code, so if you're interested in it. But this workbook has everything that these 2 forms had, plus it breaks it down even further. This is something that allows you to journal. It allows you to take notes. It allows you to have everything that I'm going over in a written space planned out for you, and it is really exceptional. Also, it includes motivational quotes. That's kind of funny, but they're actually tailored towards real estate, which makes it a little bit more comical in your mornings when you're waking up and it's cold and you're having your coffee and you read through them and it's a funny or a joke or an affirmation that you can use in your business today. I'm very proud about this. And the other thing that this journal has that we put in it that was very important was reflection. So at the end of every day, just like I was talking about, the end of every week, and then the end of every month, you have daily reflection where you're able to actually go over the amount of contacts you've made, the amount of appointments you've made, and really see exactly where your business is in that past 30 days. Why do we need that? Again, it's all about self-reflection. If you're able to go through this and you're logging it, and you're seeing, oh, from Monday through Sunday I do it, or Monday through Saturday I do it, and I'm having success, well, guess what? Next Monday, you're not going to say, well, I'm not going to do it. No, you're going to be on top of it. You're going to be wanting to do it. You're going to be motivated to do it. And if there wasn't a single thing that I really want to give you guys today, is the motivation, again, to go out and try this. Because if you try it, you will have success. I know that for sure. Our workbook, though, is incredible. I'm very proud of it, and our agents love it. It is for sale on Amazon. It is published through Amazon, so if you are looking for a more in-depth journal or something to keep your daily schedule or your daily tracking activities a little bit more in one place, I highly recommend looking for it. It really allows you to keep track and keep it all organized, because these one pieces, I use, funny enough, the daily schedule here, I use this daily schedule, you guys, for years. I literally have hundreds of these little single sheets of daily schedule that I keep in a manila envelope. Nothing wrong with that. Love it. It'll work for you. We've just done one better for you. We've put it together, and then we've added a ton of bonuses that are valuable to your business. We also added the expense tracker, business tracker. There's a lot of great stuff in this workbook. Anyways, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So where do we get these contacts to actually reach out to? Where do we find leads to dial, right? That's the biggest challenge most everybody has. Obviously, Mitch showed us where you can find 6,000 or 4,000 or 3, whatever it is in your phone. But an absolute great way that we have found, we've tested them all, and Espresso Agent has been a partner of ours with NextGen that we are very proud of. Espresso Agent is a renowned leader in the lead generation space. They're able to get us the expired names, phone numbers, all the contact info, for sale by owners, names, contact, email info, as well as neighborhood search data that allows you to add this spoke to your wheel. Now, everyone that wants to take a photo, remember on the top, you might take this, at the top of your page here, there is a QR code. There is a QR code, and you can scan that as well if the screen isn't working for you. And all of these links are on the QR code. Espresso Agent, though, you guys, great price, great service. They're able to get you the leads that you need, and that way you can start your work exactly at 8 o'clock. It's just much faster than the alternative I'm going to show you here in a bit. That's a little bit less expensive, but it's significantly faster, and it allows you not to wake up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. to start doing expireds and force sub-owner lists and all the stuff that you have to do if you're going to manually do it, which I'll show you how to do here in a second. But Espresso Agent, you guys, absolutely top-notch, and I'm very excited and I'm very proud that we've been able to partner with them for their lead gen. All of our teams are using Espresso Agent currently that are having success doing this program. So the less expensive way, and the less expensive way of finding leads, and the reason I say it's less expensive and not free is because these sites that you use, they still cost a little bit of money. Now when I say a little bit, $25, $45, maybe $69, something of that sort, versus Espresso, currently with us in our coupon code, it's I want to say with the coupon code, it's $297. So $300 a month for the Espresso, versus these different methods are much, much cheaper, but they take significantly more time. So the way that you do this, obviously, is you look in your local MLS for the expired, for the terminated list. You would take that information, the homes and the listings, the addresses, you'd put that into your local tax search, right? So you'd be able to find the owner's names. Then you'd be able to use search tools like Spokio. Spokio is probably the best. It's also the most expensive. Spokio or ussearch.com, whitepages.com, that's another great alternative, or truthfinder.com. These are all different websites that you can use for let's say free. It's not really free, but it's very inexpensive. And start mining data, getting people's contact information so that you can start doing the next part, which is the most important part, which is making the call. And that is the single most important part. It doesn't matter how you find your data, doesn't matter how you get your data or get your contacts or get your leads, you have to be making your call. And I always recommend, like I said earlier with the expireds, to start at 8 a.m. Always get this question, you guys, 100% of the time, well, I don't know when the best time to call is. The first thing is the best time to call is right now. Now, if you're planning the day ahead, the second best time for expireds, I always start 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I do not call on Sundays. Sundays are my day off. On Saturdays, we start at 8:30. Give people a little bit more time to wake up. Give people a little bit more time to be a little bit more friendly. During the week, though, 8 a.m. is absolutely critical that you start calling at 8 a.m. If you start calling at 9, everyone's going to be tired. They're already going to be over it. No one's going to answer your phone. Again, the goal is just 5 conversations a day, and you can do that at 8 a.m. For the for sale by owners, because they are less aggressive, we're going to start them at 9 a.m. again and 10 a.m. on Saturdays. And this is our schedule every single day, you guys. We're making our calls. We're getting on the phone. We're making contacts at 8 a.m. so that by 8:30, 8:45, we already have our success for the day. We have our appointment set, and then we can go off and continue on our day. So this is the fun part, okay? And this is the call outline of hundreds, and I'm honest, hundreds, if not thousands of calls. This is how they all traditionally go, all right? And they all start, right, with the basics of the open and the introduction. That's how we start off a call. It's vital, you guys, to know that you need to lead with confidence and understanding. There cannot be any, there cannot be, hi, none of that, you guys. You need to be in the mindset that you are able to lead with confidence. You're able to help these sellers solve their problems, which is currently selling their home. Also, remember, when you start this conversation, if you're on your cell phone or they're on their cell phone or whatever it may be, it's hard to hear on your phone. It's just the way it is. It doesn't sound super clear. So you need to speak extremely clear, and you have to exemplify the parts of this introduction or this call that you need the seller to hear, right? Which is really that we can help them sell their home. But you have to speak clearly. You cannot rush through that. You can't miss by that. You can't do that, you guys. You can't. You have to lead. You have to be confident. You have to speak clearly and exemplify the things that the seller needs from you, which is your ability to sell their home. One thing that's really important here, and this is done by science, is they say that only 7% of all of our communication is actually the words we speak. Okay, 7%. That's incredible. The rest is the tone, the confidence level, everything else is what makes up our speech, but we're all worried about the words that we say. And we'll go through the words that I want you to try here in a minute, but really it's more important to lead with confidence, lead with understanding of where that seller is in their journey of selling their home. That's what's going to get you guys success. The second part is affirm and confirm, okay? No matter what the seller says to your call, if they're mad, I completely understand it. I'm mad with you. If they're happy and they want you to come out, hey, great, I'm excited too. I know I can do this, I'll come out. It doesn't matter what they say to your call. You need to be repeating that back to them and affirming with them that you understand them. You understand their challenges. The other thing about repeating and affirming, you guys, is it gives you time to think. That's the most important part, because you're going to pick up that call, you're going to do your introduction, and it's going to go stage left. The conversation is going to go stage right. The conversation, it's never going to be perfect, but if you follow along with affirm and confirm, it gives you the rapport that the seller knows that you understand, that they know you're on their side, and it's also tonality. It's not just what you say. Like I just said, it's how you say it back to them. Say it back to them just like they said it to you. If they're mad, be mad. If they're loud, be loud. Or if they're quiet and they're a little old lady, and thanks for calling, Cam. Quiet way down, slow way down. We've all been there, right? And you know that you need to build rapport with just affirming and confirming. Vital, you guys. This is probably the most important part of all of this that I could teach you today, and it'll be awkward when you first start doing it. But anytime someone tells you a problem, tells you their situation, tells you where they are, you need to repeat that right back to them, and then they'll go, yeah, exactly. Oh my God, you know me so well. Yeah, I do. I'm listening all right. I know you. And that is why affirming and confirming on every one of these calls is so important. The third part of all the calls, because as conversation gets going, is we as salespeople need to focus on the objective of this call, of the call we're on. Why are we actually making that call? What is the objective, the goal, the outline? Why are we actually doing this? What is the objective, right? And the simple answer is why are we calling? Everyone, I want to answer. Why do we make a call to a seller that expired? What's the goal?
To get the listing.
To get the listing, to get the appointment, right? So the only reason we are reaching out to this seller on that day is because we are wanting to get an appointment. It's vital, you guys, not to give up on conversations, okay? The seller it's not over until the seller hangs up on you, and that's what I want your mindset to be, is that these sellers, you're only going to be talking to them once, right? Your objective is to get the appointment, and I don't want you just to be like, we're not interested. Okay, thanks for calling. Bye. How many times do we get the cold caller that calls us and we say, I'm not interested, and they go, okay, thanks for calling, and they buy. And then sometimes, I had one yesterday actually. Believe it or not, I had a cold caller yesterday. He was a really great young kid, you could tell, following a script. And he had a product that actually sounded pretty cool. He was like, we're doing some cool stuff. I hung up on him. I went, I wish you would have tried a little harder. Really, honestly. I wish, because he had something that kind of sounded cool, but he didn't give it enough tries for me to want to listen. He didn't give enough answers for me to continue on the conversation. My favorite rebuttal to anything, it doesn't matter where the conversation's going, you can almost always stop a conversation and restart it with the prefix, I'm curious, okay? I'm curious. If you guys write that down, I'm curious. Because you can be in any conversation, listening, doing the affirming and confirming, and then stop and say, well, Cam, I'm curious if we could, whatever it may be. I'm curious is just a super powerful conversation restarter. So if you ever feel like the conversation's yearning out, or it's the flame's going out and they're about to hang up on you, use their name and then ask them, I'm curious. It can be anything, you guys, anything. You're curious about something, and hopefully that can get the conversation going and get it back to our goal or objective of every call, which is obviously setting the appointment, right? The last part of all the calls is obviously answering their questions or their objections and asking or closing for the appointment. Vital, absolutely vital. You should always be giving the owners an easy way to say yes, to have you come out, look at their home, give them the information on why it didn't sell, as well as letting you show them what you do today or what you do differently today in today's market, right? That is our goal, is to have that appointment. The only way to get that appointment, though, is going to be answering their questions and then giving them an easy way to say yes to let you come out on that appointment. Very simple stuff. Does anyone have any questions on the basic outline here? Pretty easy, right? That's the most calls. So I'm going to go into the first part, which is the open introduction, and I want you to listen to me, and I'm going to have all of you do this with me here in a minute, okay? But I really want you to listen how I say this. Now, one thing also that's important is that this is a script here that will put you in front of 99% of realtors out there not using it. It's basic. Everyone here can say this script, and we're going to do it here a few times, but remember, it's not just what you say, right? Only 7% of what you say in communication is the words you say. It's more important to understand the outline or the premise of why we're saying it the way we're saying it here, and allows you to customize it to yourself, to your personality, or to what you hear on the phone when someone picks up. So this is our very basic script. It sold over 1,000 homes last year, you guys, and I actually have one written here, silly cord, that I'm going to go over, and I'm going to give you, when I reach out to someone on the phone, I'm going to show you how I exemplify certain things and how I speak extremely, extremely clear. That's the most important thing, you guys. The sellers that are expired right now, one thing you have to realize is where they are in the situation. They are discouraged. They did not have their home sell. It just came off the market after they were promised probably more than what they're going to be getting for it now. These guys are not in the happy-go-lucky mood that a lot of the buyers are, right? These guys have had struggles. They're not succeeding. So you need to come from an understanding of where they are. That's extremely important, is to understand that they're not going to be excited for you to come out, but you need to give them a reason that you should be coming out, that you need to come out to help them. And again, exactly what that is that you're able to sell their home. That's why you need to instill that in them. It's all about confidence. And I always put a little smiley here, you guys. On my desk, I have a small desk mirror. Does anyone here have a desk mirror? Like a little small, couple of you guys? Okay. I recommend when you get home tonight, go on Amazon, look up desk mirrors on Amazon. They're little, 3x3 desk mirrors, and smile at yourself before you make every single one of your calls. There's no arguing about it, and I'll prove it to you now, is that if I'm talking like this and I say, hey Cam, it's great to see you, hi Cam, this is Cam, I'm a local real estate agent, and you can hear the tone, and it's versus, hey Cam, this is Cam, I'm a local real estate agent. You guys see the difference, and it's all about your tonality, and that's why I use a little desk mirror to make sure that before I make my call, before I connect with that client, I am prepared emotionally to be on their side, to understand them. If I'm in the dumps, you go, if I'm negative, if I'm, that last call sucked, the next call is going to be just like that. If you can stop and you can reset yourself and you can smile, you look at yourself, you remotivate yourself, you're able to go out the next call with the understanding and the excitement and the confidence that you're able to help that seller. So I'm going to go over this. I'm going to show you exactly how I do this and the words I use, the tonality I use, that we've had a lot of success with. One thing also to know here, and the reason I have the paper, I want you to make this your own. So what I mean by that is I want you to use this as an outline, as an understanding of where the conversation can go or where it should go, but I want you to use and try things. I want you to experiment with your calls. Remember, you're going to be making a lot of calls, okay? You're going to be talking to a lot of people. You're only going to mostly be talking to them once. So if you try something new and it doesn't work, that's okay. But using this outline can get you going. And to be honest with you, if you use this outline and you do the numbers we pointed out earlier, this simple script can generate 12 contracts. Just this. This is it. That's all you got to do. So I'm going to go over it with you guys. It goes like this. Hi Cameron, this is Cam. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm sure you know that your house came off the market today, and I'm calling because I am confident that I can sell your home, and I'd like to meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you exactly what I do differently to get houses sold in today's more challenging market. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 be better? That's it, you guys. 200 grand right there. Who here thinks they can do that? Honestly. You all can, I promise you. I promise you all can. I'm going to do it again. Hi Cameron, this is Cam. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm sure you know that your house came off the market today, and I'm calling you because I am confident that I can sell your home. And I'd like to meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you exactly what I do differently to get houses sold in today's more challenging market. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 be better? Okay? Everyone, why don't we do this is because we're afraid of it. That's really the truth. We're afraid that we're going to have a negative reaction when we say that to somebody, so we choose not to do it. Here's the truth though, you guys. You're going to say that, and about 10%, maybe 15% of your calls will go, I'm so glad you're called. I'm interviewing agents this afternoon, and you're welcome to stop by at 4. That's it. Great, I'll stop by at 4. Before I let you go, doesn't matter. But when you do this basic thing, you are putting yourself in front of every single agent in your market that won't, okay? Here's what I want to do. If you guys will do this with me and appease me, can we do this together? I was going to have everyone stand up, but I don't want everyone to stand up. I want you guys to read this off with me, line by line, and follow along with me to prove to yourself that you can do it, okay? You guys ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Cameron. This is Cam. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm sure you know that your house came off the market today, and I'm calling because I am confident that I can sell your home. And I'd like to meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you exactly what I do differently to get houses sold in today's market. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 o'clock be better? That wasn't hard. Not at all, right? Easy. Now, important parts of this, you guys, is the parts that sellers need to hear. They want to hear that you're confident. They want to hear that you can sell your home. And you're going to show them exactly what you do differently. Because they don't want the same old, same old. That didn't work, right? And that's a lot of times what you hear is, well, if you could have done it, you should have done it before. Well, I got to show you what I do differently in this market. And then the other part of this is that when you ask for an appointment, or when you really talk, anytime that you're talking with a seller that's potentially going to be listing with you, you need to be asking, right? That's the final part of that, is asking to come out for the appointment and to close. This one script here, you guys, it has all those pieces in it. It has the introduction, has the understanding that you understand that they didn't sell their home. It has the close, it has everything, and you can do this. Now, hundreds of these, I can tell you that it all doesn't go smoothly as come out at 4 o'clock, even though some of them it will. The other 80% are going to say this. Nope, I'm not selling. Okay, great, cool. And that's exactly what you want. You want to become on their side. If they're not selling, no big deal. That's great. That's okay with me. We ask them, well, that's fine. If you're not going to sell, when do you think that you're going to be putting the home back on the market? Okay, and they say never, or they'll say in 6 months. If they say in 6 months, be like, great, I'd love to come out. If they say never, so you're going to keep it off the market then. And you got to say this very nonchalant, right, guys? This is that 93% of conversation that we miss out on, because you finally got someone to answer, you finally got someone to talk with you a little bit, and you're excited now because you want to try to close them. When really, though, they're telling you they're not going to sell. So we have to become on their side. We have to understand, well, why are you not selling? Why is that the route that you've taken, even though you had it listed before? And the questions need to be simple as, when do you think you're going to put it back on the market? When do you think you put it back for sale? Never. Oh, great. Okay, so you're planning on just keeping it off the market then, right? Yeah, I'm going to keep it off the market. If they're not going to sell anymore, guys, we can't force them to sell, right? But we can ask them a question that can possibly allow them to say yes easily. And that question is simply, well, let me ask you, John or Cam or whatever it may be, if you were absolutely confident that your house would sell, would you put it back on the market for sale today? Or market, this one says market now. That's going to get them talking, okay? That's just going to get them talking. Either they say, no, doesn't matter. If I got an offer today, I'm not selling it. They can't force people to sell. But if they say, well, yeah, possibly, or they say, if I was able to get an offer when I could, if I could get an offer, I'd consider it. And this is the easy reply to that. And this is something that's going to really kick up your guys' game if you are making these calls. It all comes from understanding, it all comes from tonality, and it all comes from being on their side, right? So this is the reply to someone that says they're not selling right now, maybe they're going to sell next year. We have a lot of that here in Florida. People come down, list when they're here, go home, take it off the market. This is the reply to that. Here's what I'm thinking, Cam. And again, you're under no obligation, no pressure. Remember, we're on their side, you guys. No obligation, no pressure, whatever. Whether you sell this home now, a year from now, or 5 years from now, considering that you already had the home on the market for sale and it didn't sell, I'd like to come by and meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you what it would take in today's market to get this property sold if and when you're ready. And I'd also like to show you exactly what I do differently in today's more challenging market to sell homes just like yours. Again, no pressure, no obligation. I could swing by at 3 o'clock today, or would 4 o'clock be better for you? Do you see how that goes along with the seller's already train of thinking that they're not selling it, they're never going to sell it? Hey, no problem. Well, here's what I'm thinking. That's just like I'm curious. That's another great one, you guys. Here's what I'm thinking. I'd love to come by for just a few minutes. No obligation, no pressure. It's all no pressure. We're never pressuring these people. These people got all these guys that are calling them, telling them, trying to force an appointment, trying to force it out of them. It's never going to happen. We have to build the understanding. We have to build that rapport. And you do that by being on their side always. Whether you sell this house now, in a year from now, or 5 years from now, I don't care. That's the attitude you got to have. It doesn't bother me whenever you sell it. But considering that you had it on the market already. You already tried to do this and it didn't sell. So that you had a little bit of failure, right? Again, working on their side. I'd like to come by and meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you what it would actually take to get your house sold if and when you're ready. That's the key to this whole part, you guys, is that, again, no pressure, no obligation. I understand you just had struggles. You had it on the market. It didn't work. I'd like to just give you a crumble, give you some information, right, that allows you to know if and when you're ready, you know why your home didn't sell. And I'd also like to show you what I do differently in this market to sell homes just like yours. Again, no pressure, no obligation. That's the close, you guys. That's the whole thing right there. No pressure, no obligation. I'd be happy to stop by. I'm available this afternoon at 3 o'clock today, or would 4 o'clock be better for you? And if you can get the understanding of what we're talking about here, okay? You don't have to use this word by word. I don't want you to use it word by word. But I want you to get the understanding, and you're going to get the understanding by doing it over and over and over again, and then you're going to be able to start making it your own because you understand the direction and you understand the concept. No pressure. If they're saying they're not selling, you're not going to force them to sell. But what you can do is explain to them why it didn't sell. And that they probably are pretty curious why their home didn't sell. They think it was great. They think their agent's great. Why didn't it sell? I can show you. Let me come by for just 20 minutes. We did so good on that first one. Do you guys want to try this one with me? All right, let's do it. So I want you to do this part because obviously this is just kind of the basic conversation. So I want you to start here. Here's what I'm thinking. You can say Cameron. Ready, guys? 3, 2, 1. Here is what I'm thinking, Cameron. And you're under no obligation. Whether you sell this house now, in a year from now, or 5 years from now, considering that you already had the home listed on the market and it didn't sell, I'd like to come by, meet with you for just 20 minutes, and show you what it would take to get this property sold if and when you're ready. And I'd like to show you what I do differently to sell homes just like yours. Again, no pressure, no obligation. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 be better? That was pretty good. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Of course.
So they tell you they do want to put it back on the market, but their price is like stupid, like unrealistic, and that's why it never sold.
That's a great question. I will talk with you about pricing a little bit later. We're doing, afterwards, we have a Q&A and we have a little happy hour. We'll talk about that more because I don't want to get totally sidetracked. To give you guys the real quick answer about pricing, this will kind of brush through it. We can only help sellers sell their homes if they are realistic. There is no way that we can sell a home that either can't be sold for financial reasons or they won't sell because they just will not sell their home if they want too much money for it. Especially in the current market that we're in, at least in my local market, we are in a price decline. So in my local market, we're seeing about 1%, maybe a little bit more, 1.5% a month in price decline. So if they already are listing the home significantly overpriced, and that's all that they'll do, you need to take the attitude that the business that you run is to sell homes. And by listing homes that are not priced properly doesn't allow you to sell your homes. The other thing I always use with that one, or the answer I always use with that one, is that personally, and your business too, it costs money to run our businesses, right? And by taking an overpriced listing, you are going to be doing photos, you're going to be doing marketing, you're going to be spending money, you're going to be losing money that in your heart, if it's $100,000 or $200,000 overpriced, you know it won't sell. So you're just wasting your money, and you have to decide if you'd like to do that. Do you want to waste your money? The answer is no. So you need to be more firm with them when you're doing the listing presentation to give them the numbers, the analytics, and let them choose. At one point though, sometimes it's best to shake their hand and say, hey, hey John, hey Karen, it was great meeting you guys. I just don't think I'm the best fit for your listing. And I have a great agent that is. He's in my office. He'll take it and then refer it out. So you can still get referral if it does sell, but it isn't forcing you to try to market and try to list and try to sell a home that is unsellable because of the price. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. So you guys did great on this one. This script here is going to, if the other script gets you in front of 99% of the people, this script here is going to put you in front of all of the people that are calling, because everyone, probably a lot of you have done this where you'll pick up the call, you'll make the call, you'll start, and then you get an objection, or you get a question, or you get something that you can't answer, and you just give up. And you say, okay, well, great, have a great day, and hang up. Well, that didn't accomplish that. That didn't get us to our objective. By saying, when they say I'm not selling, you say, that's no problem. I was hoping you would say that, you know. I completely understand. It was just for listed and it didn't sell. And if you'd like to see what I do and show why it didn't sell, I'd love to come by. And that's the concept, you guys, is you have to build your concepts and your understandings so that you can start using them when the time presents itself, all right? Does everyone feel like they have a good understanding of this? Okay, this is the moneymaker. I told you can make $192,000 with that intro script. That's not really true because they're all going to say I'm not selling. So if you learned this one, the rebuttal to I am not selling right now, or I'm just not listing it again, you will be able to easily generate 12 listings and 12 contracts in a year. Here's the second one. How many of you have heard this one? Call me if you have a buyer. Yep. Call me if you have a buyer, but I'm not listing. That's a really common one. It's going to be just as, if not more common than I'm not listing at all, because the truth is, that's all they want. They want you to bring them a buyer. That's the truth. They want you to bring them a buyer, and if you do, they'll pay a commission, but they're not listing. So the rebuttal to this, or the answer to this, and again, you're on their side because you know for a fact all they want by them saying that is they want their home sold. They want to get a listing. They want to get it sold. You have to understand what they're actually saying to us inside of the words they're using. So the rebuttal for that, of course, is you appreciate that offer. You'll never be negative. You know, hey, Cam, that was great. I really appreciate that offer. And I completely understand why you wouldn't want to list the property since you just had the home listed and it didn't sell. And you know, at the same time, since you're offering to pay a commission if I have a buyer, it sounds like even though you don't want to list the property, you're still interested in selling it, correct? And you guys see how you can come down and really kind of be on their side by slowing down the speech, quieting down a little bit. You know, it sounds like you still really want to sell it, correct? And you're asking them that. You need them to say, yeah, I still want to sell it. If they don't want to sell it, we're back to the first slide, right? I'm not selling. It's the truth, you guys. We're going around in a circle here. So you're asking them to identify that they still want to sell it. And once they say yes, you're off to the races. Because if they say yes and they want to sell it, you know you have someone that's interested. Now it's up to you to instill confidence that you are able to do what their last agent wasn't, right? And that's going to be to sell their home. And this is it. Another great continuation line is, here's what I propose. Okay, I'm curious. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I propose. You can use these lines throughout the conversation 4, 5, 6, 7 times if you need to and continue the conversation on. But here's what I propose. Again, you're under no obligation because you got to remember, you guys, these expireds, they are on edge. They think everyone's attacking them. They think everyone's just trying to get their listing. No pressure. Look, man, I saw a lot of homes. I'm top agent in the area. No big deal. No pressure. No obligation. I'd like to come by and meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you what I do to find buyers for the homes that I list and how I'd be able to find a buyer for your property. Again, no obligation. Would 3 o'clock today or would 4 o'clock be better? Because what did the seller just tell us, you guys? He just told us, bring us a buyer. Well, the truth is that we had a buyer. We'd already brought it there and we'd have sold the house and made our commission and had them move in. So we don't have a buyer. He knows that. Everyone knows that. If you start coming out with this is a very common one, you guys. Well, I might have a buyer. Or do you not know his name? Like, what's the secret here, right? No, the truth is that we can find a buyer for your property, and I want to show you exactly how I do that in today's more challenging market. I can do what you're asking me for. You said call me if you have a buyer. I don't have a buyer right now, but I would like to show you what I do to generate buyers for my listings, right? And that's a great answer to their question. This question, you guys, you will hear hundreds of times. It's an easy way to get you off the phone. If you don't have someone and they're not really interested, call me later, click, or that's their ideas. It's just stop bugging me, get me off. Hey, I completely understand. I know how you feel. Again, we have to go from the side of understanding. I want to do this one here. Here's what I propose. This is the part that I want us to do, okay? And I'm going to do it with me. Ready, guys? 3, 2, 1. Here's what I propose, Cam. And you're under no obligation. I'd like to come by and meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you what I do to find buyers for properties I list and how I would be able to find a buyer for your property. Again, no obligation. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 o'clock be better? All right, we can do a little bit better than that. I want to have that motivation, that energy, you guys. I want you to do it just like you were doing it when you're talking with someone on the phone. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Here's what I propose, Cam, and you're under no obligation. I'd like to come by and meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you what I do to find buyers for the properties I list, and how I would be able to find a buyer for your property. Again, no obligation. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 o'clock be better? Simple, you guys. Simple, 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 simple. All of this comes down to what we started at the beginning, the motivation, the goals, the understanding that if you do this, you're going to be able to generate $192,000 this year. That's a lot of money. That changes a lot of people's lives. And this is just one spoke in our business. We're going to continue doing everything that we're doing right now. We're going to continue the same business that we have now, but this is going to be added into our business, which is going to allow us to continue growing when the market shifts. So this part I'm saying is asking is closing. This is asking for closings. You guys, this is going back to the objective that we have. We're almost done here, but I really want to go through this. And these are my 2 favorites, okay? These I use hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And you can interject them anywhere in a conversation. If you feel like the conversation, you've built some rapport, the seller is willing to continue conversating with you, or they're not trying to hang up on you, they're not trying to get off the call, at any point you can interject these and ask to come out to see their home, to show them what you do differently. Ask for the appointment, okay? I'm going to go over my 2 favorites, and I'm going to go over how I do them. The first one is that you specialize in selling homes just like theirs. And why is that important? Because it's coming from the understanding that you are the expert in selling homes, and you're on their side. You understand the situation they're in. You understand what they're going through. You understand how they feel, and you specialize in that. So the close is, typically you always lead with names. That's always smart. Cam, I specialize in selling homes just like yours. Again, clearly, you got to break it down for them. You got to make it so that they understand exactly what you said. I specialize in selling homes just like yours that were on the market and didn't sell. And I'd like to come by for just 20 minutes and show you what I do differently to get houses sold in today's challenging market. That's it. That's it, you guys. This is basic stuff. And I have said this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And it's so powerful because you're explaining to them that you're not just the average agent. You're not the average blah agent. You're a specialist. You are specializing in selling homes just like theirs. And the truth is, being that you're here today, you are a specialist. You are ahead of 99% of realtors in Melbourne because you are learning, you're sharpening your tools, and you're bettering yourself. And that's why you specialize in selling homes just like yours. You're identifying with them, you're confirming and affirming with them, and then you're asking for the close. Can we do this one together, guys? With some energy? I want some energy. Ready? I specialize. 1, 2, 3. I specialize in selling homes just like yours that were on the market and didn't sell. I'd like to come by for just 20 minutes and show you what I do differently to get houses sold in today's market. Would 3 o'clock work for you today, or would 4 o'clock be better? We can all do this. You're doing it right now. If you can do it right now, you can do it on the phones with folks, and then you're going to start having success. And when you make $16,000 from doing this, it'll blow your mind, and it'll give you another avenue in your business to continue growing. Now, the other one is one of my other favorites. This one I like to do typically with ladies that are more analytical. They love this close because it makes sure that you understand and you're under the understanding that they're at the same level. One of the things that I have when you're talking with a lot of people, especially older ladies, they feel like they're trying to get pushed over. You're trying to bowl them over, or you're trying to overpower them to get the appointment or the listing or whatever it is. This is one of my favorite answers to that, and it's simple. It says, for example, Cam, you sound like a very smart person. I wouldn't expect you to do anything that doesn't make sense to you. And I am confident that when we meet, you'll clearly see why we should work together. All I need is 20 minutes. What works best for you? Does 3 o'clock today work better, or does 4 o'clock better, right? That is it. You are identifying, you are affirming with the seller that you're talking with that they're a smart person. They are, right? We all agree with that. You never call someone silly or dumb. So they're a smart person, even though their home's listed for 100 grand more, whatever it may be. They sound like a smart person to you. And you wouldn't expect them to do anything that doesn't clearly make sense to them, right? None of us would do that either. We're not going to make a decision that doesn't make sense. So we're on their side. We're doing the understanding. And when we meet, you'll clearly see why we should work together. All I need is 20 minutes of your time. Simple, simple stuff. You can ask that at any point in a conversation, and for the majority of people that I have spoken with, they love hearing the fact that they're smart people. Oh yeah, I'm smart. Yep, good. Well, let me come out and I'll show you why you can be even smarter. Literally, that's the attitude you need to have when you use this question or when you use this answer for the question. Okay, so the hang-up game. This is a game that we play to improve our skills in prospecting. It's called the hang-up game, and you guessed it. That means that the seller has to hang up on you. Either they're setting an appointment or they're hanging up on you. The truth is that if you don't play this game, they're still going to hang up on you. But if you play this game, it allows you to know that you're only having a one-time conversation for most of these calls that you make. You're only going to speak to them once because you're not going to be able to go out and have the appointment. You're not going to be able to go out and help them. So who cares if they hang up on you? The truth is, you guys, is that our objective on that call, the reason we picked up the phone, actually, let's start over. The reason we woke up this morning and visualized and worked out and did everything we did is to achieve that appointment. And if we hang up on them, that's not going to happen. There's no way that we're going to get an appointment if we hang up on them. So one-time conversation, no, you most likely will never speak to this person again. The benefits of doing this, you guys, is more conversations. You're going to be able to drag out conversations that you thought would end or you would give up on, and you'd be able to drag them out by asking things like, I'm curious, here's what I propose. You know, those type of things allows for extended dialogue. It allows for increased questions or increased objective opportunities. So that's how you're going to sharpen your skills, is that when you hear those objections or those questions that you don't know the answer to, you write them down. Those go in your after day reflection because you're going to figure out how to answer those. Myself, Mitch, any of us here at EXP or at our groups would be happy to help you if you have specific questions. Reduces the closing fear. And this is a really big one because almost everyone that I coach has a fear of asking to come out. But if you play the hang-up game, you don't let them, you don't hang up on them, and you close 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and then they hang up on you, you know those 6 closes didn't work very well. But you also know that you're able to do it. You're able to ask to come out. You're able to ask to show them exactly what you do differently in today's market, and it allows you to use more answers to their questions and their objectives. The third one here is the mindset shift. This is the biggest one, or the fourth one there. It's viewing all calls as practice. So the truth is, just like all doctors or all attorneys and all of that, we don't have a set way that's guaranteed to work. We're practicing. Every call is practice. And when you make it a game and you understand the concept of the game, you are actually making calls and practicing. And that is when you can become a better agent, you can sharpen your tools, and you're able to convert at a higher level. And instead of having to make the 150 calls that we started off with, you can actually usually narrow that down to about 15 to 20 calls, so you cut it in half. So you're able to get one contract around every 50 to 75 deals, which obviously can make it 25, 30, 40 deals a year just by following this method. We know the number's 192,000. If you play this game, you sharpen your tools and you get better at the answers and the questions, and you truly understand where the sellers are and where they're coming from and where they are and emotionally and psychologically, then you're able to help them and give them the answers and give them the confidence that they need that you can sell their home, which is the objective. Then you get to come out. So this is the hang-up game. If you're going to do this, you guys, this part you have to do. You can't hang up. If they say, I'm not happy, I'm not selling, you can't say, okay, thank you, I'll have a nice day. No. No, it's, oh, I understand you're not selling. I get it. You had it on the market, it wasn't sold. I'm curious. Let's talk some more. Tell me more about your story. Let's keep this conversation going. And then throughout that, I want you to interject some of the closes that we have here. Now, on your guys' sheet that's sitting in front of you, I don't think I have one here. I'm going to steal this one. I have a few pages of the basics, okay? Now, on that QR code right here, the QR code on every page has the entire next-gen script compilation. This is a book that we put together of the best scripts, in my opinion, from all different sources on the internet, and you can download that. It's completely free, and you can dive into even more scripts that we're using or different, I don't want to call them scripts as much as ideas on where you want the conversation to go when you hear these questions. The questions like the I'm not selling or bring a buyer, those aren't scripts. Those are going to be guaranteed. It's how you respond to them that's absolutely key. Now, if you do all this, we offer a 30-day guarantee with Espresso Agent that you will gain or you will be able to procure one listing in the first 30 days, or Espresso Agent is willing to give you the second month completely free. That's how confident we are in this system with these scripts, and what we're doing is that if you do buy our system with the Espresso Agent and you're not able to generate one new listing in 30 days, they're giving you the second month free. There are a few caveats, obviously. They want you to attend their training, which just gives you kind of the basics of the system. They want you to use the dialer for at least 15 days out of the first 30 days. Okay? It means they want you to go to work. They're not going to give you a free month if you don't do the work. And then have at least 15 conversations a day. If you do those things and you're not able to procure a listing in the first 30 days, you get the second month completely free. That's incredible, you guys. There's no other lead company out there that's giving you a free month if you work their system and don't have success. Okay, Q&A. Do we have any questions specifically? By raising hands. I love this part. No questions? Okay. Well, we're going to have a few minutes afterwards. If you have any questions or personal, you can walk up to me. I'm happy to answer them for you. After 15 years of this, you guys, I've heard it all. So I'm happy to talk with you guys. I appreciate you guys, and good luck in 2024.